You can look rich on the outside, but be broke on the inside. This video is inspired by one of the most powerful books ever written about personal finances, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Nowadays, it is common to see people wearing expensive clothes, living in luxurious properties, and exuding sophistication. But what many do not know is that all of this can be just a facade. Behind appearances, those people may be in debt up to their necks, and each expense pushes them even further away from true wealth. That reality, even though it seems modern, is not new. More than 5,000 years ago, in one of the most advanced civilizations of antiquity, in the city of Babylon, a man named Richest experienced something similar, only the other way around. While many around him struggled to survive financially, he prospered. He was known as one of the richest men in the city. He had everything one could imagine: fine clothing, the best quality food, valuable objects. His family lived well, and even with so many expenses, his fortune only grew over time. The more he used his resources, the more his wealth increased. And here you might be wondering, what did he do so differently? That same curiosity arose among Richest's friends. One day, some childhood companions sought him out and said, "Richest, you became the richest man in Babylon. You give the best to your family, while we barely managed to get by. We grew up together. You weren't smarter, nor did you work harder than we did. So, how did you become so rich? Was it luck?" It was then that Richest explained something essential. Luck is not always on our side. Those who rely only on luck to get rich generally lose everything over time. What comes easily often goes the same way. Just look at those who win the lottery. Many people receive millions of dollars and, a few years later, are in the same situation or worse than before. Studies show that around 70% of winners lose the entire prize within up to 10 years. They end up exactly where they started. Richest then shared his journey. He did not have luck. He built his wealth with discipline and knowledge. And it all began with a conversation with a moneylender named Algamish. This man taught him one of the most valuable lessons about money. Every coin you save and invest wisely becomes a servant working for you, and the earnings it generates become servants of your servants. On the other hand, every cent spent carelessly disappears from your life forever. That was when Richest understood. Every well-invested dollar works for you, and also for your children. But the money you spend on impulse never returns. After that, he said that throughout his life, he followed 7 golden principles to take care of his finances. It was those principles that made him a rich man. The friends, interested, soon asked, "Can you teach us? Our pockets are always empty. Our wallets are always light." So Richest set out to help. He created 7 rules to teach, one for each day, as if it were a treatment to cure the poverty that followed them. These teachings are powerful and timeless. They have helped the wealthy for thousands of years to live with security, stability, and peace. In the past, these rules were only passed from rich fathers to rich sons, while the children of the poor were left without access and trapped in a life of effort without reward. But today, that has changed. We have YouTube, books, podcasts. All this knowledge is available to anyone willing to learn. You can finally stop living worried about money all the time. And so, Richest began to share the lessons. On the first day, he said, "The change began when I realized that part of my salary could actually be mine." The friends were surprised. "How so? The whole salary is already ours, isn't it?" Richest replied, "Are you sure about that? Don't you pay rent to the landlord? Don't you hand over money to the market, to the tailor, to the collector? So tell me, how much did you save from your last salary? And from the previous ones?" Everyone fell silent. "Exactly," Richest continued. "If you're not saving anything, the salary is not yours. You're just working for others. And if you keep going like this, you'll be a slave to those people for your entire life. True transformation happens when, upon receiving 10 coins, you decide to spend at most 9 and keep 1. That single coin will be the beginning of your fortune. In 1 year, you'll have saved 12 coins, and they, in turn, will work to generate more. Over time, you will feel the positive weight of those coins in your pocket. And everyone agrees, a full pocket is much better than an empty one. The next day, the friends came back with a question. "Our income barely covers the basics. How are we going to manage to save anything?" That was when Richest asked a direct question. "Among you, who ends the month with an empty pocket and a zero balance?" Everyone raised their hands. "Interesting," he said. "Even with different salaries, some earn more, others less. You are all broke at the end of the month. Why? Then they realized a pattern. The more they earned, the more they spent. Income increased, but the habits remained bad, or even worse. Arkad explained, the problem lies in confusing need with desire. As long as you don't know how to differentiate between the two, you will remain trapped. Even if you earn 10 coins and choose to live with 9, saving 1, it may seem like your pocket is still empty. But the difference is that now you have 1 coin on your side. And in the future, that will make all the difference. The secret is to live with less, always save a little, and over time, increase that reserve. On the third day, Arkad taught the following rule. Multiply what you already have. After learning to save and control expenses, the next step is to make the money grow. Many people stay stuck in that phase, but it is precisely here where the rich stand out. Saving protects you from poverty, but it is by investing that you reach true wealth. Arkad told that when he began to gather money, he invested in a craftsman who made shields. Every 4 months, that craftsman returned part of the profits. And what did Arkad do? He reinvested everything. He used the profit to apply it again. And he repeated this process, always. At first, it seemed like the goal was very far away. But after taking the first steps, he realized that the path became easier over time. And the best part, he began to enjoy the process. Seeing his fortune grow little by little became a source of satisfaction. He also said that, at that time, investing was much more complicated. There were no banks, brokers, or stock exchanges. But today, all of that is within our reach. Nowadays, investing has become much simpler. You can invest your money directly from your cell phone, sitting on your home sofa. For example, you can invest in real estate funds. With about $100 invested, you can receive approximately 85 cents per month in returns. It may seem little at first glance, but imagine the same investment made with $50,000 or $100,000. You would go on to receive more than $400 per month without needing to work for it. Another option is stocks. Just so you have an idea, someone who put $1 into Copal shares back in 2005 saw that amount turn into $30 by the year 2025. That equals an average return of more than 18% per year. And even if you do not understand much about the stock market, you can opt for a CDB, Certificate of Bank Deposit, from a safe bank. This type of investment yields according to the CDI reference rate in Brazil, which currently stands at about 14.90% annually, not counting taxes. But here comes an important warning. According to Arkad, bad luck can knock on anyone's door at any time. There are people who get excited trying to double their money in a few days or seeking gains of 10% per month. But generally, those who aim for returns that are too high also risk losing everything at the same speed. That is why the first rule for anyone investing is protect your capital. In other words, protect your money before worrying about making a profit. The greatest investors in the world say the same thing. Warren Buffett, for example, has 2 basic rules. 1. Never lose money. 2. Never forget rule number 1. Because when you lose money, you also lose everything that money could generate in the future. Arkad always said, whoever wants to avoid losses needs to invest safely. And he himself followed a personal rule. If you do not understand how the game works, do not even sit at the table. Of course, seeking profits is valid, but never put the return ahead of safety. According to Arkad, one of the safest investments is to have your own home. Owning your house is better than paying rent. After all, in addition to saving the amount of the monthly payment, you build an asset that will be yours. But it is important to analyze carefully. Many people still think that buying is always better than renting, but that is not always true. Let's imagine 2 buckets of cookies. In the first bucket, the rent bucket, every month you put $1,000 and give it to the landlord. The money disappears, the bucket stays light. In the second bucket, the financing bucket, to live in the same house the bank charges $2,000 per month. Half of that goes to interest, the bank's cookies, and the other half represent parts of the house that gradually become yours. It seems advantageous, right? But what if you chose to rent the house paying $1,000 and use the other $1,000 to invest in a piggy bank that generates returns? Over time, that piggy bank could turn into something big enough to allow you to buy the house, or even 2. That is why there is a practical rule. If the financing installment is almost double the value of the rent, then maybe renting and investing the difference is the best path. Now, if the installment value is close to the rent, buying may be more worthwhile. The logic is simple. The greater the difference between the 2 options, the stronger your investment piggy bank becomes. After talking about this, Arkad paused to reflect. Every human being goes through phases: childhood, youth, and old age. We will all grow old, and no one remains healthy forever. If one day you get sick or simply can no longer work, you will need a financial reserve. In the past, people hid coins or valuable objects underground as a way to protect themselves from unforeseen events. Today, that has changed. Now, you can invest online, buy stocks from solid companies, cryptocurrencies, or funds that pay monthly income. Even with small monthly amounts, you can build good wealth over time, and that will guarantee security for you and your family in the future, especially in retirement. On the seventh and last day, Arkad gathered his friends and said, "Today I'm going to share the most important lesson of all." And he told a true story. A young man came to him asking to borrow money. Arkad asked, "Why do you want a loan?" The young man replied, "My income is very low. I can barely support my family." After hearing that, Arkad refused to lend the money. He said, "You don't have a good income, nor any savings set aside. How will you pay me back? Why would I take that risk?" Instead, he advised him to focus on earning more money. The young man explained that he had already asked his boss for a raise 6 times in 2 months, but never succeeded. That was when Arkad replied, "You want to get rich, which is excellent, but you haven't developed the skills necessary for someone to want to pay you more for it." Then, he turned to his friends and said, "Many people want a higher salary, but almost no one asks themselves, what am I offering that is different to deserve it?" The answer is simple. Those who have real knowledge and deliver more value get paid better. That is why whatever your job is today, do it well, and never stop learning. Over time, your value increases and your income follows. You won't even have to ask for a raise. Your employer will want to pay you more. I want to share with you my own experience. One of the first jobs I had was in a small coffee shop in the downtown area. At first, I only served tables and cleaned the dining area. Later, I also asked to help at the register and take orders over the phone. Later on, I offered to create an Instagram page and promote the coffee shop with photos and special offers. The result? It helped sales so much that, in just 1 year, my salary tripled. All of this simply by delivering more results and gradually taking on new responsibilities. And I learned a valuable lesson. The best investment anyone can make is in themselves. If today your salary is low, the priority should be to invest in your own knowledge and development. This type of investment does not depend on the economy or on third parties. It is personal, lasting, and powerful. I learned about marketing and social media, but you can learn English, programming, video editing, or even a valuable trade. The question is, before asking for more, what are you delivering more of? The truth is that most millionaires who built their fortunes from scratch, without inheritance, got there not because they demanded more, but because they delivered more value. That is why. Invest in yourself. Increase your capacity. Let go of the victim role and take the reins of your life. Those who learn to manage money and invest in themselves build freedom. It is not just about earning more, but about making smart decisions, protecting what you have, and growing consistently. If this content made you reflect on your relationship with money, comment below "financial freedom." That way I will know you stayed until the end and that you are committed to changing your story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share so we can keep growing together. And that's all for today. Remember, your greatest asset is yourself. Keep investing in your knowledge and skills, because that is how freedom and security are built. See you in the next video.